Yesterday, the president is on Air Force One, and you know his typical where he stands between the two areas and he's doing his interviews. He's being asked all these different questions, and it's 4 of them that I want to go through. One of them, Rob, if you want to start off with, you can talk about the talking, do you think Iran's taking your threats seriously? Can you imagine talking to a guy that previously took out their number 2 guy in Iran, Qasem Soleimani, and the reporter has the audacity to ask you if Iran's taking your threat seriously? Go ahead, Rob.
Don't you think so, CNN? Don't you think so? Wouldn't you say that they probably do at this point? After going through it for years with me, being hit, Soleimani, al-Baghdadi, the Iran nuclear threat wiped out, don't you think, and then you just had Venezuela, don't you think, she says, CNN, do you think they take your threat seriously? Wouldn't you say they do after all of the things we've done? What a stupid question.
How do you ask a question like that? What can you do me a favor? Be the other side.
Okay.
Like, play the other side. Be a liberal. Be a person right now.
Do I have to color my hair and put on glasses and be LGBT?
Really Tom, honestly, make the argument for a person that has this reputation to say, who just went and took out Maduro, okay, who just went, and he told him, I'm going to do this to you, who just went and took out, the stuff that he's done. Make the argument why that's a good question to ask.
I don't know if I can make the argument, but I can make the description. The liberals and the mainstream media, they don't take him seriously. They do not take Trump seriously. They use all sorts of words to describe him.
You think they still don't take him seriously?
Huh?
You think the liberal media still doesn't take him seriously?
No. I do not think CNN takes him seriously at all, because the only way you are able to ask that question is if you are A, deluded and not paying attention. Not paying attention to all those facts that he put out, all those facts. Or you just believe in your heart that he is incapable, shouldn't have been there, the election should have gone the other way. You just believe that. Denial is an incredibly powerful drug.
But again, this is CNN, Tommy. First of all, I would never even allow them on my airplane, number one.
Well, there's a door, they could step out.
No, I get it, but number 2, it's Tom. They're not stupid. They know they take him serious, but anything to make him look weaker, anything to make him look non-presidential or, like I said, like weak or fragile. But he has the receipts. He's going in. He's doing surgical stuff to take out these people. CNN, 100%. At the end of the day, Tom, they're not stupid. They know exactly what they're doing. And here's my question, though. Where do these questions come from? I don't think the reporters get to just go willy-nilly like how we are here with our stories and stuff like that. Who's giving them the okay to say, okay, go in there and ask him this question?
The producer in their ear.
Exactly. So it's coming from headquarters, CNN. Okay, undermine the president, make him look weak, but guess what? You're messing with the freaking lion. He's going to give a damn.
It's only validating him, by the way.
Exactly.
Rob, play the next clip, Rob. Play the next clip.
There seem to be some people killed that aren't supposed to be killed.
These
are violent. If you call them leaders, I don't know if they're leaders or just they rule through violence. But we're looking at it very seriously. The military is looking at it. And we're looking at some very strong options. We'll make a determination. Some of the protesters were killed through the stampeding. I mean, there's so many of them. And some were shot. We get a full report. I'm getting an hourly report, and we're going to make a determination.
By the way, the numbers right now is 11,000 protesters have been arrested. Okay? The number they're reporting is over 500 killed. That's now being reported by mainstream media. People on the streets are saying the number's around 4,000, if not even higher. And while this is taking place, probably the biggest thing in Iran that the mainstream media doesn't want to talk about is the following. Can you ask ChatGPT and just to see what reports come up? Do you know how many mosques in Iran have been burned down? Do you know how many mosques they're burning down? Iranians.
And why?
Well, because what they're saying is we're Persian, but we're not Islamists.
Wow.
They're burning down mosques because they're done with the Islamic Revolutionary Guard. Do you know what is one of the biggest countries of losing? Guys, can you turn off that ringtone on your phone? Do you know what is one of the biggest countries that's losing converts from Islam to Christianity? You know what it is? Iran's at the top of the list.
Really?
People are leaving. They're leaving and they're saying, I want a different life in Iran. FYI, the internet now, which, Tom, I'm going to go to the story and I'm coming straight to you. in Iran, the story you hear about is the kill switch. Iran flips the kill switch to hide alleged crimes as death toll rises amid protests. Okay, so the kill switch is what? The internet, okay?
Yes.
And electricity. Iranian regime triggered an internet kill switch in an apparent effort to hide alleged abuse by security forces. And as protests against it surged nationwide, a cybersecurity expert has claimed the blackout slashed internet access to a fraction of normal levels on the 13th day of the protests, as rights groups, including Amnesty International, accused the regime of using lethal forces against protesters. This is Iran's war against its own population using digital means. Okay, net blocks. CEO Alp Toker told Fox News Digital this was a piecemeal measure that eventually encompassed the entire country, with the government willing to use this kind of measure for an extended period of time. There would be an empty attempt by the regime to cover up the crimes that it may have committed, so this blackout could potentially last for days, if not for weeks. This group also reported that more than 2,300 people have been arrested and that demonstrations have spread to at least 180 cities nationwide. Most of those killed were protesters, the group said. Tom, thoughts?
In the history of dictators that have been overrun people, going back to Pol Pot in Vietnam, after the Pol Pot in Cambodia, Vietnam, the killing fields, turning off the media is the tool of the aggressor, and isolating the people from communication is the tool of the aggressor. We have seen it in other failed states. We saw it in Uganda, turning off phones under Idi Amin. There were so many things that people do to turn off the communications. And the reason they're turning this off, you were on Fox on Sunday, Pat, Sunday morning, and you talked about it, that there are people out there, credible people that had Starlink and other resources that are saying the number is higher. Look, what does the regime want? The regime wants to put the number lower. They want the world to say, hey, there were some protests. There have been some people here, but it's not a lot. We're letting them protest. They have their say, but that's it. However, the protesters are saying, no, that's not true. In certain areas, they are committing atrocities, they're committing slaughter, and the number is much higher. If the number is high and it gets out to the Western media, guess who responds? DJT 47 already said, you be careful. If you exercise undue force and you start killing these protesters, the U.S. stands ready to help. The USA stands ready to help was the quote. And so they can't have big numbers come out because the big guy is going to show up, because we see this as a protest of the people who are lawfully assembling in the streets and are just tired of the dark side of it.
You know who the internet is hurting the most? You know who the internet electricity is? The regime.
Yeah,
Good.
of course.
The internet is destroying the regime because they need to make money. So guess what? I don't think it's going to be weeks.
Well,
I think they have to open it up here soon. And if they do or they don't, think about it from this standpoint. Imagine President Trump and his team. What do you think they're telling them? What do you think that call sounds like? Because he's saying, Rob, I don't know if you have the clip that says they're talking, they want to renegotiate. Do you have that one that, they have reached out to us, they're negotiating with us.
They changed the subject and said that.
Do you have that?
Yeah, they said, we're willing to talk about a nuclear deal and other things. Why are you changing the subject?
Yeah.
Why do you want to talk about a nuclear deal, change the subject? Really? You got some problems there, regime?
Is this it, Rob?
Yes, sir.
Go ahead and play this clip. Watch this, folks.
Something really nice from Iran to engage diplomatically with you, or perhaps negotiate on nuclear program.
With Iran?
Yeah, do you think they want to engage diplomatically with you?
Watch
do.
this.
They called
They called you? Is it
yesterday.
Is it still an option?
Iran called to negotiate. Yesterday, the leaders of Iran called. They want to negotiate. I think they're tired of being beat up by the United States.
Are you sharing details on that call?
Iran wants to negotiate. Yes,
Negotiate what?
we may meet with them. I mean, a meeting is being set up, but we may have to act because of what's happening before the meeting.
Right.
But a meeting is being set up. Iran called. They want to negotiate. Thank you very much.
Okay, so when and Adam, I'm going to come to you right now.
sir.
So when you think about that, here's what it comes down to. What do you think if the president is speaking to them? The best thing about what we have right now is the following. We want to buy this property, okay? Guy comes to me, makes a massive offer for this property, okay? And it's 2x what I bought it for. Why? He's trying to buy everything down here, the investor, because he wants to tear this place down and build high rises and units. Okay, now luckily I own it, so if I don't want to do it because, you know, where I live, okay, so it could be, but if somebody wants to come buy this, what are they going to look at? Comps.
Of course.
Okay, what are the comps? Next door, bigger lot, newer property, sold for $4.8 million. Okay, this is worth whatever, $4.4 million, right? Hey, the guy next door just sold for $7.8 million, smaller lot, older property. This is worth $8.2 million. What is the best comp that Iranians have right now to know exactly, at least to get an idea of what the president is capable of doing? What is the best comp to Iran that we have right now? Venezuela. Okay, so what what did they call and give Maduro as an option?
Turn yourself
what was
in.
Turn yourself
in with your
and
wife
get out
and leave. They
That's
gave
right.
him the heads up.
Did they give him that option?
100%.
Okay,
Yes.
so what did he do?
Several times.
He stayed.
He chose to
He
ignore
stayed.
them and get double down. Come for me.
But guess what, though? Because to him, he didn't want to lose face to walk out. Okay? He
Yes.
wanted to what? Come get
me.
By the way, in a way, respect.
Yep.
To be honest with you, respect. Come get me. All right. Do you think there's a likelihood that they've given that option to the Iranian regime as well?
Probably.
You think they have?
Probably.
Okay. That's probably one. Number two, what do you think the Iranian leaders are going to say? Khamenei, do you think they're going to turn themselves in?
Absolutely
No,
not.
chance whatsoever.
No chance. Okay,
It's
so
a different,
that's
different mindset.
different mindset. Remember when I asked the president about the Iran situation, and I said, what do you do with Iran and what do you do with this? He says, your mind has to be what? Remember what the word he used?
It was a swivel.
He says, you have to be ready to go any direction.
Yes.
It could be good for this. It could be different for this. Rob, do you remember that conversation when I was asking him if he can pull it up?
You gotta be flexible.
It was a different word that he used. So, but it's flexible is what it means. To me, that's one option. What are the other options? Send Delta. What are the other options? Attack. What are the other options? So think about it. When you're watching this and he's saying, we're talking to them, but we may not have to wait till the negotiation takes place because we may need to,
Act.
he pauses, was about to use a different word, and he says act.
Yes.
Right? What do you think is going on here, Adam?
So for me, the signal through all the noise is that Iran has been humiliated in the last 2 years. You know, they've been a paper tiger and they've been exposed. The 12-day war in Israel, Israel won matter-of-factly. Israel took away all their proxies in 2 years. All that money they invested in all their proxies, Hezbollah, Hamas, the Houthis, all gone, done, dissipated. Number two, all the money they've spent on the nuclear program. U.S., Trump comes in, boom, B-52 bombers, whatever they were, stealth, whatever you want to call it, it's gone. So they've been exposed and humiliated. So it's kind of like the guy that's like, oh yeah, bro, you want to go? Yeah, meet me outside, dude. Whatever you say, let's go. And you go outside with him and you knock him out. And now he's like, yeah, you want to go round two? And then you knock him out again. And at what point are your words just going to be completely hollow? How many speeches have we seen the Ayatollah say, the enemies will bow on their knees? Nobody's scared of you, buddy.
Yeah.
Everyone's clowning you at this point. You're an 85-year-old man that absolutely nobody fears, especially your enemies. Here's the biggest thing that I can tell you. This weekend I was watching movies, and I happened to watch with my girl this movie called Sleeping with the Enemy. You ever see this movie?
Old school.
Julia Roberts, she falls in love with this abusive control freak. There's a story here about Iran, and there's 3 phases of an abusive relationship. Number 1, there's attachment, love, emotion. You're not thinking clearly. You're ignoring logic. I don't know. There's something about him I love. Number 2, entrapment. He's got you now. Control. You're under his wings. You have to basically deviate your life. You're telling your friends certain things. You know, you recognize there's issues. He's controlling everything. All of a sudden you realize this isn't what I signed up for. And then number 3, eventually there's liberation. You're going to get caught. You're going to get beat. Just like the people of Iran are going to jail. How many people are losing their lives? Let's not let these people die in vain. And eventually she gets free. And eventually the storybook ending with the people of Iran, of Great Persia, they will eventually be free.
Vinny.
You know, and I know you guys know me. I've said this how many times. I'm not one of these like people that just wants to America, because I hate that we were put in the position of being the world's police. And Iraq, I don't know how many times I have to tell you guys, I don't want us poking our noses in other people's business if we don't have to. There is something happening in the world right now. It's like a global awakening. With Venezuela, it's happening. With Iran, it's happening. It's starting to spread. And by the way, this only comes, Pat, when you have an actual leader. And the left, I don't listen to all that noise. I love that you said signal versus noise. Again, Adam, I don't care about the noise. I don't care what the Cenk Unger, whatever his name is. I don't care what the Harry Sisson say. These people are allergic to real leadership. You have a boss that's in there that's not playing games. He's not going to let China, and by the way, this weekend, China, Russia, and Iran were playing Navy games, Pat. They're all teaming up, and they want to show their force. But you have a boss that's in there right now that's not going to let our enemies, I don't like this word adversaries, you're not going to get close to us. You're not going to be setting up shop in Venezuela. And with Iran, I'm sorry, it's the people. I don't give a damn what anybody in the left says, Patrick. The people are fighting and they're dying for what they believe in. Okay, they're fighting, and good for them, and God bless them. And I love that the fact that you said that Christianity is on the rise. I know I said it last week where I'm like, maybe they need a Christian leader. Maybe they need something completely different, because if they go back to the old school and put another Khomeini in that's Islamist and all this, then all this work is for nothing. And Pat said something this weekend, Pat, that hit me. On Fox and Friends, Pat said, look at how God is lining up everything if you look at the signs. Donald Trump is a 47th president. It's taken them 47 years, and they're doing this. And guess how old this guy is who's from Iran? 47 years old. It's as if everything is lining up to do it, and it gives me hope. It's hope, and maybe, Tom, this spreads to like a North Korea where these people are under a dictator, Pat. I think it's an amazing thing, and I think what the president is doing is freaking awesome, and I'm with them 100%. Period.
I'm with you, and I think there's some things there that the American people are starting to understand that the American media is ignoring, because American media sees Islam as a race.
Yes.
And they say them Arabic people from the Middle East are Islam, and all Islam is Arabic, right? They have this weird thing because they want to put everything in a race box so that they have a victim box, and then in the victim box they have an advocacy, right? Because that's the way that they manage and manipulate voting groups. Yeah. And that's the way Minnesota, found out that the little pit bull they adopted and all the Somalis has grown up, and oh my gosh, it's quite a dog now. Yes. But the mainstream media doesn't understand the history of Iran. They are Persians.
Yes.
And they are rebelling against what they see as the violent Islamic, the IRC. Pat was trying to talk about it on Fox. I wish his segment had another 5 minutes.
Me too.
Because he could have laid it out, because Pat's an expert on Iran. And I was listening to this, and I'm like, they don't get it. They're trying to put all of these repressed people, and all these people that are protesting, they're trying to put them in a box, but they're fighting for freedom. That's against narrative.
Weird.
They're fighting against totalitarian control. Against control, they don't want to be manipulated by the government. So the American mainstream media doesn't know what box to put in these people that want their freedom in Iran. And it doesn't fit into the race, a culture victim box where they want to put everybody in a label. And so they don't cover it. And they're not covering the whole thing. They're actually covering for the regime. Who is a sympathizer for totalitarian fascism now?
Yeah.
The U.S. mainstream media.
Can I ask you a
100%.
question? So I was doing some research. Maybe you can validate this. It says, I said, what percentage of the Iranian people are pro-regime, against the regime, and then neutral, right? According to these records, about 70 to 75% are against the regime.
Weird.
Pro is about 10 to 15%, and neutral 10 to 15%. Any way you want to cut it.
That sounds about right. Some would say higher against, but I think that's a reasonable number. There was a research that was done that I think the number I remember is, 80%. What is that showing, Rob? Large majority,
89% of Iranians support democracy.
89%. Okay, yeah, that's why I said some people would say the number's higher.
Can I ask you another follow-up? Okay, so we're agreement on these numbers.
Yes.
So you're Christian, proudly Christian.
Yes.
What a lot of Americans don't understand is there's two major sects of Islam. There's Sunni and Shia, correct? Shiites, is predominantly based in Iran. And I think the vast majority of the population is Shia Muslim. as a Christian, what was life like for a Christian prior to 1979, before the Islamic Revolution? And you're talking about bringing a Christian as a leader. I don't know how that would work. I would assume they would want a Shiite leader. I don't know. Walk me through the religious component in Iran now. What it was before?
Oh, nobody cared.
Thank you.
You were like, nobody cared what you were. Nobody cared what you were. I mean, and even, Mohammed Reza Shah Pahlavi himself wasn't the most religious guy.
He was
himself.
Muslim, though. He was Shiite Muslim.
He was Shia Muslim, but it's not what you have today and not what you're experiencing.
He wasn't an extremist.
Today. Not at all. People walked around regular, comfortable. Women had rights. Women had power. No 9-year-old marrying a 52-year-old man. That kind of stuff was illegal under the Shah. He brought education in. He did an amazing job. And the criticism they'll typically give him, they'll bring up Savak. They'll say, well, what about his secret police? What about a secret police called Savak? Well, what about CIA? What about MI6? What about Mossad? What do you think you need to do if you're building a country to have an empire? You need to have people that are kind of giving you intel on what is taking place. And then post, not even the same. You couldn't walk around Christianity openly wearing a cross out. It was not the same thing post Khomeini. It was a complete different world post Khomeini. Let me tell you what's going on and who the real MVP in America is the last 4 weeks, the last 3 weeks. You know who the real MVP in America is? That unfortunately, they will not get the credit. They will not be talked about. You will not know their names. You will not be able to give to their GoFundMe. You will not be able to do anything with those guys. You know who the real MVP the last few weeks has been in America? The Delta Force. The Delta Force. When I was in the Army, I asked my orders to be, I was going to go be 18 Delta, 5th group. I did all my interviews. I got my orders. I was going to re-enlist 6 years, go to DLI, go to SEER school, go to, airborne, go to special forces, and then I was going to go straight to Vicenza, Italy to be in that area. My friend ends up getting the orders. He ends up becoming Delta. The stuff you're hearing about on how they're going in Venezuela and how they got him, the reports that are coming out, unreal. And by the way, you know who's watching that very quickly? Khamenei in Iran better be watching very closely because our Delta Force is really strong. If they want to do something, they could get a lot of stuff done. So guess what is back? You know these USA hats that we had, these beautiful USA hats with the future looks bright on the side and the future looks bright on the bottom? These sell out within seconds when we launch these. If you haven't picked one of these up, you love America. There's never been a more important time, especially 250-year anniversary, to go wear this. This is the USA, the USA on the front, American flag on the side, future looks bright on the back, and then you got future looks bright here. You can go back on this link, Rob, if you can put it below. We also have the shirts to go with it. Go back on that page as well. It's right there. If you go, there's the shirts to go with it. There's the different kind of hats. For women, for men, go a little bit lower if you could, Rob. But if you haven't yet ordered one of these USA hats, buy one for yourself, for a friend, for a family member who loves America. Anybody who wears this with the USA being lifted, they love these hats. One of the fan favorites that we have. Click on a link below, order a few, give it away to your friends, colleagues, and employees. If you enjoyed this video, you want to watch more videos like this, click here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click here.